border crossings. Do people think if border crossings went to zero, there would be no layoffs? Do you think if border crossings went to zero, eggs would get cheaper? Do you think if border crossings went to zero, you would get a raise? Do you think if border crossings went to zero, all of a sudden house prices would go down? Rents would go down? Do you understand that the people crossing the border are not your competition? They are not your enemy. They ain't the one laying you off. They ain't the one denying your raise. They're not the reason that in 5 years, your money is worth a quarter of its value. They ain't the ones, okay? But the people hoarding all the wealth are the ones. So I just wonder, because I keep seeing Elon tweeting about border crossing. Well, that guy tweets so much. But do people really think if border crossings, let's just say border crossings completely stopped, you think you're getting a raise? You think all of a sudden you buy a house? You think eggs got cheaper, gas got cheaper? Turns out Joe Rogan is slipping. He's falling. He can't get up. Welcome, I'm Rob. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I do a live news commentary, and today we're going to talk about Joe Rogan. I don't know why I kept saying Joe Rogan was from Natick. He's not. I even thought that felt weird, because I'm like, man, I know some good people in Natick. I like the town of Natick. Joe Rogan's from Newton. Newton, Upper Falls. Newton, not a working class town. Very wealthy. Elite Newton. What's up, Kevin Hawthorne? Good to see you. For everybody new, for everybody who's joined before, welcome. We do news and give some commentary. Joe Rogan's podcast, only 63 million views, listens, whatever it is. But the Midas Touch, the podcast that is pro-democracy, that's what they call themselves. I like the Midas Touch guys. I think they're doing a good thing, calling out the BS in the media today. But Joe Rogan went from conspiracy podcast to dude is Trump propaganda. He is straight up North Korean TV for America. He is the Billionaires podcast buddy. This is the only way to put it. He really is disseminating disinformation, misinformation, and propping up the oppressors as much as he can. But what do you expect? I mean, do people really think Joe Rogan, who went from, a pretty wealthy celebrity to $100 million contract man, do you think he was going to have the same issues you have in life? No, he lives in a bubble. So when other wealthy people come in and they're like immigrants or, fraud, corruption, he's like, yeah, that sounds good. I don't really talk to many humans besides Brendan Schwab or whatever his name is, that horrible human. So of course he buys into everything. Joe Rogan doesn't go to the grocery store. He goes out into the desert of Texas, the scrublands, to hunt elk and eat elk all the time. And I'm scared it's affecting his brain. I know I used to listen to his podcast to see certain different things. I mean, back when I was listening before the pandemic, Joe Rogan actually was like, it makes sense to wear a mask. That's why doctors wear masks in surgery. That's why you wear masks in hospitals when there's a baby born. Like, Joe was of that persuasion. And then, like Bill Burr said, Bill Burr went on his podcast, and Bill Burr, you could go back and watch this, because I'll never forget, that was like the day I was like, fuck Joe Rogan. Fuck that Newton motherfucker. But Bill Burr was like, Joe, I'm not going to pretend like you know what you're talking about, smoking a cigar, sitting in front of an American flag, pretending like you have a medical degree. Bill was like, it's like rollerblading. It's like everybody did it, and then one person was like, oh, that's gay, and everybody threw their rollerblades away and pretended like they never had. And that's all it was. Joe is such an insecure human that if you're just like, oh, you wear a mask, what are you, a girl? He's like, I'm not a girl, I never wore a mask, doesn't make sense. And I mean, Joe's just a moron. He really is. But at this point, he's dangerous, okay? Hey, what's up, Alyssa? Good to see you. Let's get it. Wonder, man, good to see you. Cousin died yesterday. He's a cop. My heart breaks. Damn. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I know quite a few people that have lost people recently. Damn. Longest you've gooned for. Posh. Okay. Can you say hi to me? Of course, I'll always say hi to a monkey. I love monkeys. What is your avatar? Posh, keep it in your pants, pal. What is that, a MAGA hat on there? Or is that a McDonald's hat? Or is that a Conrad hat? It all depends. All right, so anyways, Joe Rogan is just one of the most insecure men ever. And during the pandemic, he even had like an infectious disease doctor from the University of Minnesota, I think it was. He had another guy on where he kept trying to push him. He was like, I heard you couldn't get the germs if you have a sauna. And Joe, like, go back and watch this because it's hilarious. It's hilarious that people think Joe Rogan's a serious person because he was like, I heard the sauna kills, the steam kills the germs. And this like dude who studied medicine and diseases his whole life was like, no, Joe. And he's like, are you sure? Because I have a sauna and I heard like it's going to keep me healthy. And he was like, no, Joe, I'm very sorry. So Joe Rogan, the guy who kept pushing to believe that a sauna was going to protect you in the pandemic, was like, a mask won't, but the steam of a sauna will. That's his science brain, everybody. But now I think a lot of people, because he's losing listeners, but more importantly, there is another podcast. He was number one podcast forever. You see all these right-leaning podcasts topping the charts, and it's sad because people are willing to be stoked by fear, and they're willing to listen to these people who have no interest in helping them, defending them, really have no interests aligned with them. You know, when people are like the price of eggs, you think Ben Shapiro or Dan Oingo Boingo, Dan Bogina knows what an egg cost? What could it cost, Michael? $30? Like, these right-wingers they're all wealthy. They all come from wealth. They're all spoiled, entitled, nepo jerks. They don't care. They don't care about the healthcare system. If Ben Shapiro can be like, if you say free Luigi, you're a monster. He obviously has healthcare that does not affect him. He's a man who cannot go into debt from healthcare. He's like, what? I pay $1,000 to see my doctor? What, isn't that normal? Like, these people are so out of touch. They live in a bubble. So what lefty podcast do you listen to? Soy boy. Why, thank you. Soy is delicious. Here, pawns to prizes. Let me break it down for you. If you think calling me a soy boy or something like that is going to, I don't know, like intimidate me, I feel bad for you, you know? Because that pawns to prizes, I'm guessing like that works, you know, in the circles you run in. You're like, soy boy, cuck. And here's the thing. A real man doesn't care. A real human who's not insecure, I'll be like, you know what? The only way to drink a chai is with soy, bitch. Because you don't want to get lactose. But really, it's just funny. And I'm guessing you got to be 13. If you're any older than 13, I feel really, really bad for you. Because you're the ideal candidate to be suckered by Joe Rogan and Ben Shapiro, who are wildly not serious people. And I've already laid out, you can go back and watch this, but Joe Rogan is losing that audience. 63 million listens, and now Midas Touch, which has topped him and I think doubled. I don't know what their listenership was, something over 120. And that's just showing that there's a lot of people turning from Joe, who has had on like Elon Musk a few times. Like, it's clearly state propaganda. I love how the people are like, we don't trust the government. And now Elon is the government. And he's going on Joe Rogan's thing, and everyone's like, now we trust the government. It's like, sheep, stop. We need you to think for yourself. What do you think a guy like Elon, who has 13 children, who Ashley St. Clair and his other baby mama, Grimes, Claire Bouchot, or whatever her name is, both had to reach out to him on Twitter. They were like, Elon, you're not picking up your phone, and we have your newborn babies here. And he was like, bitch, silence you. That's what he did to these broads on Twitter because they were reaching out. And Claire Grimes had a medical emergency. And Elon was like, forget you. What makes you think a guy with a private plane, no job, I know he's the CEO, but he's tweeting all day, he don't work, has nothing on his schedule, can just run the government, can't take a moment to go fly and be with his kids. This guy refuses to be with his kids except for little human shield. What makes you think he cares about you? And Joe Rogan has him on with all the worst questioning. Really not the hard-hitting stuff. It's not even conspiracy theory. At this point, it's just pandering to Elon and Trump, pandering to the powerful. So it's awesome to see. It's awesome to see. Yes, I'm a lefty, Pawn, and I'm not offended. You know what is sad? That you're a sucker. That's really what it is. Like, if you believe Elon cares about you but doesn't care about his 13 other children, like, maybe you got daddy issues, and you're like, Dad's coming back from that pack of smokes he said he was going to get in 88. Like, Elon don't care about his kids. He don't care about his kids. One of his kids, he was like, I disown you. But he cares about you, right? You're a special good boy. Oh, man. It's funny, but it's also very sad. I feel bad for you. I feel like there weren't good role models in your life. Pawns to prizes or whatever that means. Listen, he's not offended. He's a grown man. I really don't. I don't care. You're a special boy. Elon likes you, pawns to prizes. He's pawns. I don't know if you're old enough to go to a strip club, but I'm assuming you're the dude who leaves there going, that stripper really liked me. She was the one. I'm going back. Because Elon, that bitch works for your money, and he's taking it all, and he's going, yeah, I like you. Yeah. You're a special boy. Tom Segura's son grew up fast. Ooh, do I look like Tom Segura? Thank you. I'm guessing you think he's a handsome devil. Deshaun Cruz. That's just what it is. So Joe Rogan. I think you'll see Joe Rogan, and I'm not sure, because Joe Rogan might be so committed to be like, anti-woke mind virus. And what is the woke mind virus? Empathy for other people. Remember when Elon was like, America's biggest problem is empathy. That's what he said on Joe Rogan's podcast. So if you're a subscriber to, not being merciful to people who are vulnerable, then good for you. I don't know, like the earth doesn't need you. Like, who's like, I show no mercy? And they're like, that old lady is having a hard time opening the door, and you're sitting there being like, I show no mercy. I'm a real man. Pawns to prizes. Go watch Andrew Tate or something. I think that's your speed right there. Where they're like, you show no mercy. You always sweep the leg. And you're like, that's my grandma. And they're like, sweep the leg. They don't care. They're using you. You're a sucker. You're a sucker to believe that these people don't care about their own kids. Elon don't give a shit about his own kids. Thinks people's problem is too much empathy. Why? Well, maybe because he lacks any at all. But I'm sure the guy who does not care about his own kids likes you. Pawns to prizes. All wake up one day. Pawns to prizes, you don't even make any sense. I thought you said I was a lefty. That means I'm woke. That's why they call the left woke, because we're already awake, homie. See, you're not even making sense. You'll change. You'll change. You'll wake up one day. Oh, wait. Is the right woke now? Have you taken woke from us? Don't you dare take woke from us. That's our thing. That's hilarious. Pawns to prizes, if you're just tuning in, earlier in the chat, said, I'm a crazy lefty, and then said I'll wake up one day, meaning I'll get woke. It's like you can't even stay on track. You can't... Your disses don't even make sense. I actually take pride in being woke. I'm very woke. Just like George Carlin said, if you believe in the American dream, you've got to be asleep. But I do pray for you, pawns to prizes, that Jesus visits you in a dream and shows you the place in hell where you're going to reside. I'm just kidding. I hope Jesus takes it easy on all of you. Oh. So what does the left stand for? Empathy. Empathy, Dave S. I know, it's a complex... It's this thing that Jordan Peterson never tackled. It's called empathy. It's called machoism is actually having compassion and empathy for people. That's so foreign. But I'm sure you guys, the funniest thing about these people is if you meet them in real life, they'll hold the door open for a lady. They'll give somebody some change. They'll pretend. They'll like play the acting role of like, oh yeah, I'm a good guy. I love my community. And it's like, bullshit, man. If you get online and you follow the Ben Shapiros and the Joe Rogans, they hate community. They think you shouldn't have empathy. They want to destroy everything around you. They want you to fear your neighbor. Which is funny because Jesus said, do not fear and love your neighbor. Anyways, I'm so sick of everybody. Me too, Mel. Hey, what's up, Jacob? Good to see you. You missed it. I was getting trolled by pawns to prizes. He was he was doing pretty good. He was calling me a leftist and a soy boy, which was pretty funny. But then he just said, one day you'll wake up. And I said, wait a minute. The left is woke. I can't wake up. I can't double woke myself. Or is he talking about like Inception? Am I woke only in my dream? I don't know. That's the trouble with these, some of these people. That's the trouble with the muskrats. They don't really make any sense. Common sense is lacking. Critical thinking. One day you'll wake up. I thought I was woke. God damn, he showed me. No, I'm obsessed with the people destroying. Joe Rogan, actively harming our communities. Elon Musk, actively harming our communities. And I'm talking about my communities, where there's a Tesla factory. He fired a guy trying to unionize because he wanted heat in the winter. The richest guy in the world won't splurge for heat. Yin yang kill him. They are harming us by siphoning wealth out of our communities. So I don't know if you know this, but they don't like to pay well. Or if you're a muskrat, you found out real quick that when Elon Musk was like, ho, we want the HB1 visas coming in. He's like, we do want some immigrants, the ones that I hire. Why do you think he likes to hire them? So he can pay them what he wants to pay them, not what they're worth. And if they don't go along with it, he can boot them to the curb. If you think these people are helping your community, I feel bad for you, man. I mean, just the fact that he's so divisive, he thinks empathy. He's trying to split people on having empathy. These are Elon Musk's words. He went on Joe Rogan's podcast and said, I think America's problem is we have too much empathy. Do you understand what empathy is? I would hope everybody has it. I think a world void of empathy is a very harsh place. And what you don't understand is the billionaire who couldn't spend his money in 1,000 years saying, I don't have empathy, and that's the trait we need, means he doesn't care about you. He's telling you he doesn't care about you. If he's saying you have too much empathy, what does he say? See, this is the critical thinking you got to do. You got to do this on your own. You guys are big boys, I hope. So wait, corporation and major cities don't do the same thing about wages? Yes, we're talking about a CEO of a corporation. John Lorch, if that's your name. The other thing that I wanted to mention is, I don't know if you guys know who Courtney Love is, a figure from the 90s. I don't like her. We won't get into the whole Kurt Cobain thing. But Courtney Love apparently has bailed on America. Rosie O'Donnell, Ellen DeGeneres. We know why Ellen left, you know. She had no empathy. We got rid of her. We exported her. But they've all gone to the UK. And now I read an article today, I put it down below, that no, not Courtney Love. Listen, I hate Courtney Love. I don't know. She is a rubbish human, okay? Truly rubbish human. But here's my point. America's got so bad. Apparently Courtney Love's been living in London since 2019, which I didn't know. Thank God. But apparently she's now announcing she's getting her English citizenship and she's never coming back to America. And I thought that is a low bar. If America is now the place where Courtney Love is like, ew, gross, like America, we got to rethink shit. You know, if Courtney Love is like, and I'm sure England's mad, they're like, can you please take her back? But America, if we're at a place where Courtney Love is like, it's a little too grimy for me, a little too much corruption, a little too much women shouldn't have a say-so. If Courtney Love is saying that, guys, what is America's character arc doing? Okay? What is our character arc doing? I'm serious. I'm questioning this because we don't get better from here. Courtney Love has abandoned ship. Not to make this the metaphor, but when the rats start abandoning ship, we need to think twice. We might have some holes in the bottom of the boat, folks. Courtney Love, I never thought I'd see the day when Courtney Love is like, America, that place where I ripped off, where I cheated on Kurt and had him help me write songs and couldn't play guitar and made millions of dollars. That place is gross. Courtney Love is saying that. Fuck, people. We got to rethink this stuff. This is a dark time. Mel, thank you. Thank you. This is a very dark timeline. Got 42. We have 40 40-something people in here. Welcome. I'm Rob. Hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell. I do a live news commentary. I call it newsmentary every weekday. I'm here trying to help entertain El Joe Dirte, USA. Listen, if there's one thing to be proud of our country right now is we got rid of Courtney Love, okay? It's been decades. We could not get rid of her. We could not get rid of her. We lost Kurt. We couldn't get rid of her. And now we did. And now we got to start rethinking things. Because if Courtney Love can turn around and say, like, yeah, America's just a little gross. Courtney Love saying America is gross is a wake-up call, folks. Like Primes to Prawns or whatever his name is said. One day you'll wake up. Oh, I'm awake. Trust me. Courtney Love's calling us ugly. I'm like, holy shit, what is going on, folks? Joined the Solus. What is up? Good to see you, Solus. Y'all being oppositional to oppositional. So yeah, join the Discord. Don't say for a free cookie, Jacob. You know I hate Mr. Beast. No free cookies around here. You go to Mr. Beast's channel if you want to be lied to about a free cookie. And that's the thing. Some of these people like Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, they think they're too big to fail, right? They think I could do whatever I want. I could poison the well and I'll never have to drink from it because I have my own private water company. And they're going to find out. They're going to FAFO. Is that FAFO? Yeah, that's FAFO. So hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I do bring you news and commentary every weekday. I'm here for you. Hang on. There are cookies. My political opinions can't be bought, but they can be fed. There are no cookies. Sarah Smith, I have to be very clear. If you're new here, I hate Mr. Beast. Not just because he's unoriginal and just steals ideas from like Netflix and then does them on YouTube, but also because he says subscribe for a cookie. It was his banner. He's like bragged about like subscribe for a free cookie and not like a web browser cookie, which I was like, if he said that, that's clever. But he says subscribe for a cookie and shows a picture of a chocolate chip cookie. He has 200 million subscribers. He owes a lot of people cookies. I subscribed, well, I unsubscribed to him, but I subscribed. I never got a cookie. So I think we have a class action lawsuit. So I think Jacob is trolling me. Sir, let me tell you, I have a lot of cookies. Jacob's trolling me because there are no cookies. Mr. Beast's smile never touches his eyes. Mel, I'm pretty sure Mr. Beast's smile is AI on a real human face. Just here for a laugh. Guy Ford, I will bring that to you. Whether you think I'm serious or a joke, I will try to bring you a laugh. You sound like a hater in general. Pawns to prizes. I do hate Elon Musk, and I hate Trump. But are you complimenting me? I don't get it. Before you try to diss me, and now you're complimenting me. I hate Trump. I hate a racist, convicted rapist, guy who says you just grab him by the Elon Musk, who says we have too much empathy. We need to be devoid of empathy. I hate people like that. Those are the people, even though Jesus tells me, Jesus says, don't hate, love your enemies. I struggle with that as a Christian. I say, you know what, Jesus? I wish you were here, you know? I wish you were here to see this Nazi. A dude that Sig Heils twice. I hate people like that. So yes, you are correct. Mr. Beast faking messages saying he was supposed to be on the Ocean Gate sub that imploded? No way, come on. He's also not a rapist. Sounds a little too cute. Wait. Why do you hate Trump besides the lies the news told you? I hate Trump for who he is, what he stands for, how he's trying to eradicate the Department of Education. Just the fact he put Linda McMahon up there. I mean, I hate him for what he said on that holiday. Again, I hate Trump for his own words, not for what the news tells me. I can hear Trump speak. And I've known Trump before The Apprentice, like when he was a failed casino runner, when he was the failed steak guy, when he was the failed airplane guy. He has a lot of failed businesses. He's been a grifter since day one. The kids can't read. Bro, come on, full-grown man still hating. Yeah, listen, there was a time in America where slavery was legal, and there were people like, I hate this shit. I hate these slave owners. I hate these Confederate secessionists. And I support those people. So grown man or not, I'm not going to be complacent when it comes to some Nazi out there doing a Sig Heil at whatever it was. Not the inauguration. Was it? I don't remember. Like, if you think I'm going to be a centrist in that, you're fucking high, man. Seriously, do you people, what's that name? Zed Aprilituana 1000? Okay, I can't even address that. Kind of feel bad for Trump and Elon's kids. Well, don't. They're feeding the monster, you know? These people, well, I feel bad for Elon's kids, all 12 of them. He carries one around like a human shield all the time. But the other 12, I feel bad, you know? You just seen Grimes going on Twitter saying, hey, Elon, we're having a medical emergency. And he did nothing. Imagine your kid if you have kids, imagine your kid having a medical emergency and you ignored them and they had to reach out to you on like Facebook or something publicly, not even a DM. That's who you think cares for you. Are there any facts in this? Oh, Jesus. Defending billionaires don't even know their name. Jacob, a lot of people think a billionaire is their friend, not to understand that, like, these billionaires are the same people that want to make sure that these people at their jobs get paid the very least. Billionaires aren't in the business of paying you what you're worth. Y'all are against uncovering wasteful and Sarah, listen, if they wanted to truly go into corruption, they wouldn't do it like this. But if they wanted to, what they're claiming is balance the budget, right? That's the other point of this, is that they're trying to help taxpayers and get taxpayer money back. There is one simple way to do that. Tax wealth, not work. Elon Musk has $400 billion. He couldn't spend that. If he spent $1 million a day, he couldn't spend it in 1,000 years, okay? This guy could not spend all this money. And he sits on those assets. We need to tax that. If we, here in Massachusetts, and this is how I know it works. Here in Massachusetts, right? We put a millionaire's tax on the millionaires in this state. And once that implemented, I helped fight for that. And I was active in getting people to understand the millionaire's tax. And the campaign against us, the people who didn't want a millionaire's tax, it was paid for by billionaires. The millionaire's tax in Massachusetts, if you're not from Massachusetts, you might not understand this. Once it went into effect, every kid in the school system in this state got free lunch. Every kid in this state just gets a free lunch. They get to eat at school and not go into debt. Also, if you're an adult and you want to get your bachelor's degree at a state school, you can do that for free now. That was just on taxing millionaires. It was a 2% tax on money over, I forget how many millions. Imagine what we could do taxing these billionaires. Again, they want to raise taxes on you, which Trump did in 2017, and they're going to again. They want to raise taxes on you and I. And if you and I, even if you're doing okay, which there really is no more middle class in America, there's a working middle class, but even if you're doing okay, that money that should be in our pockets goes back into the economy. Our economy is 70% consumer purchasing power. When you tax billionaires, they're sitting on assets and wealth. When you tax wealth, not work. Stop taxing our work. Don't tax the work. Tax the wealth. When you tax that wealth, you can revitalize all these programs. We have the people, and if you're talking about, that's the other thing that I just want to make mention real quick. If they were going after corruption, why were the first people they fired the inspectors generals? Those are the people who inspect this stuff. They're the ones that are seeking it out. Why would they go after the CFPB? That is an amazing, amazing consumer protection company. And if you don't know about it, please look into it. Please, I can't fucking hold your hand through everything. Being poor doesn't make you right. Yeah, but it makes you more experienced. Elon Musk is talking about shit he doesn't know about, okay? He's calling Social Security a Ponzi scheme. He's calling stuff that people have paid into. He is looting our government. If you think Elon Musk is your friend or has your benefit in mind, remember, he ignores 12 of his children. He doesn't pay attention. Imagine having a newborn and the lady reaches out to you on Twitter and she's like, I'm having your baby. And you're like, get out of here. That's what he did. And that's just facts, folks. I've worked for farmers all my life that are all millionaires. I've been around. So yes, I haven't made it, but been around it. I know what they go through and have to sacrifice. Yeah, the millionaires really have to sacrifice. They're the ones that are, worrying about keeping heat on. The millionaires. Do you hear the words coming out of your mouth, John Lorch? Millionaires aren't concerned about rent. They aren't concerned about egg prices, okay? The workers are. Oh. A guy named Diddy called me a spedhead. That's funny. You might want to change your name, unless you're fine being known as Diddy. Have you ever been around the Midwest? I know people from the Midwest. Oh. Have you ever been around working class Boston? What gives you the right to talk about working class people, John Lorch? I thought you hung out with millionaires. They're the ones with the eggs. That's my point. They're not worried. If you're talking about millionaires, John, I hate to break it to you. They're not like, can we pay rent? Millionaires are not worried about rent. That's common sense. Doesn't matter if you're in the Midwest or the East Coast, buddy. Oh, but yeah. What John wants everybody to think about is the poor millionaires. Who's going to make sure that they have enough vacation homes? Can we worry about the poor million? Do you hear this? There's working class people, working class traders defending millionaires. Well, not defending their neighbors. The people who are struggling to keep heat on in the winter. They're the ones that voted for the price of eggs. It's exhausting. There's another article from The Hill, I think it was The Hill, that I put in there about how Elon is a threat to national security with all his ties to China, if you care about this. My life is none of your business. Did he calm down with that, man? The right isn't in the business of shaming people for things they can't control. I missed what was said. My dad is a millionaire through generational wealth. He's a good guy. Well, G-Mom, most people who are millionaires now, it's handed down to them. There's not a lot of people. I know people like to think Jeff Bezos or Elon or Bill Gates or Trump. Trump was given his empire by his daddy. These are all Nepo babies. Elon, Nepo baby. Jeff Bezos, Nepo baby. They pawn off this image of self-made, but they're not. But that's a story for another day, folks. Hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell. I'm Rob. I do a live news commentary, newsmentary, every weekday. Might have a difference of opinion, but I'm sorry your parents aren't here anymore. I lost both my parents too. And we can have a difference of opinion. No racism, no misogyny, no homophobia. That's where I draw the line. And the unfortunate thing is Elon is a lot of those things. Just read about how the black people at his company were treated. He is a racist. This is not hard to fucking find out. And that's stuff I don't tolerate. I hate that stuff. But other than that, we need to have discussions, because here's the thing. If you're working class, if you work for a living, we need to unite. We need to say no more taxing us workers. Tax wealth. Tax wealth. We need the government to be in service of us. That's what it exists for. It's not a business. Businesses run strictly for profit, right? That's it. They want to meet Wall Street's expectations, or they just need to profit. They don't care about your health care. They don't care about your rent, your lights, your heat. They don't care. If you run this government, which they're doing like a business, what do? Lay off everybody, don't want to pay anybody, and they just want to steal the profits. That's it. Free Luigi. Healthcare is Mel, what's the question? I missed it. What if everybody just stopped going to work? Man. Mel, hit subscribe. We need more people in comments like that. Hit subscribe, then hit the notification bell. I want you back, Mel, because that is a great point. A general strike. We could show our power. The working class has the power. Listen, I know there are some people that really love billionaires. They hope they get noticed by them. They hope they'll know them by name. Maybe Elon will retweet me. But here's the thing. There's only a handful of them. That's why they're the 1%. We are the 99, okay? We're the ones that take out the trash. We're the ones that get their eggs. We're the ones that check them out. Well, they don't go to the grocery store. And we don't cook for them because they probably have private chefs. But there are more of us than there are of them. And Mel, that's a great point. We need a general strike. If nobody went to work, it would be amazing if nobody went to work. Imagine if Elon just gave out all his money to everybody. You could create art and poetry. Our art culture, our culture in general would be so dynamic. I love how John Lorch is like, oh, what do you want to do? Not go to work? Yeah, who wants to fucking work, John? Like, this isn't like a controversial thing. Most people aren't like, I love going to work and leave my family at home. Well, maybe people like Elon, who has 13 kids and just doesn't want to be around them. Well, most people, they're like, fuck a dream job. How about just a dream? All right. Hey, Black Merlin, what's up, man? It doesn't matter what side they're on, Republican or Democrat. It does not matter. We need to get out of the red, blue, left, right. Stop. You don't believe everything that box they put on your head is. No corporations, they don't pay taxes. I just read another story. Starbucks created a Swiss subsidy to avoid like $100 billion in taxes. It's insane. They'll do anything to not pay taxes. And do you think that money's going back to the workers? It's exhausting. All right, so hit subscribe, especially you, Mel. Starbucks is a woke company. You wish, Sarah. They're not woke. But come here. I will help teach you. I have many years of life wisdom. Zare, what lawsuit? What lawsuit? And they definitely aren't, Sarah. That is the perception that they built up through the 90s. And since they've lost that, they are very anti-union. They are just Republican light. They are diet conservatives. In New York. Ooh, I got to read about that. Thank you, Zare. Okay. All right, guys. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Please come back. Join me on our discussion, this dialogue. It's a work in progress. But the one thing is we need to be united. We need to come together. Like Mel said, what if we all just decided, and that's what we're doing here. We're building a community to inform people that healthcare is a right. We are the only country in the world, U.S., where people go to medical debt. Watch Michael Moore's Sicko. We should not have to go into medical debt. People should not have to call Uber instead of an ambulance. We need to fix these things, and we can fix these things. Folks, I'm Squeaky Wheel. What's up? I didn't see you. I'm sorry. He might not be right about that one. They could be faking it. We're also still #1 destination for immigrants. Sarah, we've always been a destination for immigrants. What are you talking about? Just say brown people if you don't like brown people. Like, Sarah, we've always, America was founded by immigrants. There were native, there were indigenous people here. It's always been about, I'm in Texas. Sarah, you can, listen, just be honest. I'd rather you be honest. We get it out of the way and we work with you on it. If you're just like, I don't want brown people coming here, say that. Don't say, oh, it's a destination for immigrants. Be honest with yourself and we can help you work through it. We can reform you. Oh, Resurrection Productions. That's a cool name. The government doesn't need to be included in healthcare. Oh, Jesus. Resurrection Productions. Corporations in America have been included in healthcare and it's not working out. Okay. We need, and you can look at many other countries, how they pay taxes, and those taxes bring in their health care for them, cover their health costs. We've been trying capitalism for a long time. That's what got us here. Okay. Let's end on that. The corporations, the CEOs, what is health insurance? It's just gatekeeping us. They're not doctors. They're not nurses. They're not hospitals. They just gatekeep us from our health care. And we've been trying it for a long time, folks. It's time for something new. So join me. We're building a community. We're building a family. It also sucks. What sucks? I'm missing some stuff. Trying to go full socialist. Yes, 100%. Please. Sweden doing all right. Semi-capitalism, national healthcare, same with Canada. But I would like to go full socialism. If you're scared of socialism, you're scared of yourself, like Fred Hampton said. All right? Go watch some Fred Hampton right now. Fred Hampton, he was he started the Rainbow Coalition. We need socialism. There is nothing scary about that. The workers having the means of production instead of that wealth being siphoned to the top. And here's my case for it, guys. We've been doing the other thing for 50, 70 years. We've been doing more deregulated capitalism since Reagan. Okay? And that's what got us here. That's why last election people voted on egg price. Okay? Because of capitalism, folks. Please learn about socialism. The workers getting that share of the pie, not just one person, the CEO. unless you're a CEO. Yeah, socialism has been tried and failed. It hasn't. Read the shock doctrine. Socialism has not been tried and failed. Good luck with the 17% approval rate. The left is dying. Sarah, if you think I'm a Democrat, you're sorely mistaken. I'm anti-Democrat, anti-Republican. It hasn't been. It hasn't been. Again, guys, I implore you, stop listening to Jesse Waters on Fox News. Jesus Christ. Too many people are getting educated by Dan Oingo Boingo, Dan Bojina. This is why they want to eradicate the public school system, because there's a bunch of people in here being like, socialism bad, but I want my Social Security when I retire. I like the police department. I like co-ops and worker collectives. I like community. Socialism, unions, that's all good stuff, folks. It gives us the power. Not, you like having a few people tyrannically dictate what we do? Jesus Christ. I know some of you need to be told what to do, but not me. All right, so hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell after you hit subscribe, and join me tomorrow. We'll continue this conversation. Sarah Smith, you come back, all right? Frog plays. What Russians are paying you? Well, we know what Russians are paying Tim Pool, because his beliefs align with theirs. David Gregorian is not paying me. In fact, I do this for free. So much love, much respect. Let's keep talking, okay? Whether you agree with me or not. I'm not here to convince you in 40 minutes. I'm here to plant a seed. All right. Cool. What's up? Oh, Jesus. Cool. What's up? Oh, I'm getting off, man. Much love to you. I hope you're doing well. All right. It's good to see you back. All right, guys. Have a good one.